Welcome, guys. Elia Uboso. We are back. New week, new month, new year. Um, yeah, new content as well. So, yes, like I always like to start off the year with like the prior year stats, being it like financial or um, products that have been moving in the economy or so forth. So this video is not different to that. So yes, so in today's video, I'm touching on like one of the biggest transactions that actually happened in the country in 2023, or that was closed off in 2023, which was the transaction between Namibian breweries, Heineken and Distell. So so I found this transaction personally interesting because then I think since it's in inception, back in 20, I think 2021 or 2020, when it was the media started reporting about it, I've been showing immense interest in this transaction. So just seeing that last year it was concluded, I felt like I was part of this transaction, just following how it was being reported. And all this and everything just around the transaction, not really getting involved but just watching from the outside and getting inspired. So yeah, so today I'm actually going to talk about the transaction. So it's one for the books. It's a very interesting transaction, so do follow through. And yeah, there's also a disclaimer in the description. You should read that out before you watch this video. So yes, without wasting no time, man, let's get you into this video. Um, One of the things that I actually came across as I was researching actually about this video was an article written by Marina Rouge, an equity analyst at M&G Investment. So I thought like this article actually summarizes this transaction very well. So I'm going to be reading that article and in contrast also looking at the financial statements or the group financial statements of NBL that were released last year, October. So without wasting no time, let's get into this again. So yeah, so the article is titled Namibian Breweries, Heineken and Distell, a big deal for African beverages. So global brewer Heineken acquisition of South African drinks group Distell completed on the 26th April 2023. Just to highlight that date, on the financial statements it says 17 April 2023. Was a big deal for the African beverage market. It was an important step towards Heineken strengthening its presence in the region, while for Distell, it provides a much larger regional platform for the distribution of its products. What may have been less headline grabbing, but equally as important as part of the transaction, was the acquisition of a controlling stake in Namibian Breweries Limited, NBL, or NAMBRE, by Heineken NV, or Heineken, from the Altava and List group of companies. This in turn had an additional precondition relating to the acquisition of Distell Namibia subsidiaries and the sale of NBL stake in its associates Heineken South Africa back to Heineken. So before this transaction came to a conclusion, um, I think Heineken used to own like 23% stake in NBL. So and then when they started talking about Heineken buying Nambrew, one of the thing was Heineken had to buy back that 23% stake from NBL, and that's what this statement is actually saying. So, given the importance of NBL to the Namibian economy, a sizable exporter and major employer in the local market, with nearly 1,000 direct employees and 10,000 indirect employees employment opportunities, the focus of this article is on NBL, its historical relationship with Heineken, as well as how its acquisition has impacted NBL's shareholders and the future of its well-known Namibian brewer. So we're just gonna go into a little bit background about the Namibian breweries. So Namibian Breweries, previously known as Southwest Breweries Limited, was established in 1920. Now it's 2024, and it was sold in 2023. That's 103 years later, and it was listed on the Namibian Stock Exchange in 1996, about 27 years before it was sold. Or yes, before it was sold now. Significant. Sorry. Today, it's a leader in Namibian beer market with a well-known brands such as Windhoek Lager, Tafellager, and a significant market share in the premium beer segment. In the last full financial year, 2022, the beer category contributed 94% of Namibian breweries' revenue. I think in the current period, 2023, I think it contributed about 86%, if not 83%. And then NBL also exports its product to 13 countries other than Namibia and South Africa. And its 3 million hectoliter Windhoek brewery is one of the only few large-scale commercial breweries in Africa that brews according to the German Reinheitsgebot of 1516, which prescribes that the only ingredient that may be used in the brewing process are malted barley or malted barley, hops, and water. NBL committed to this purity law NBL's commitment to these purity laws guarantees its beer is brewed only from natural ingredients. So that's law of 1516. We are in 2024 now, so that's like some 500 years ago. So Namibian breweries, they brew their beer to this standard of 1516. Yeah, so I think that's something to brag about. So just to go deeper and into Namibian breweries history with Heineken. So NBL's history with Heineken starts back in 2003, 2003. It's a while back. When a strategic partnership, DHN Drinks Proprietary Limited, DHN Drinks, was formed between NBL, Heineken, and a global spirits giant called Diageo or Diageo. This partnership aimed to market, sell, and distribute a combined beer, spirits, and cider portfolio in South Africa. Beer was sourced from the NBL's Windhoek facility and from the Sedibang Brewery in Johannesburg, South Africa. At the time, DHN also owned 50% of Brandhouse Beverages and a distributions and cost-sharing joint venture with Diageo. So in 2015, Diageo exited the partnership that they had with Heineken and NBL, taking full ownership of the spirits portfolio and brand house with it during its exit. So this left NBL and Heineken to consolidate their efforts to capture further beer market share in South Africa. NBL took a 25% stake in the Sedibang, and DHN Drinks later rebranded to Heineken South Africa, with Heineken owning the remaining 75%. So the Sedibang Breweries was built in 2009 with a capacity of 4.5 million hectoliters of beer, which was expanded in 2020 and now produces around 8 million hectoliter of beer. As part of the joint venture, NBL migrated some of its production volumes to Sedibang to optimize utilization of the newly of the new facility. All right. So now we are going into the transaction. NBL sells its stake in Heineken South Africa back to Heineken. So that 23% that I was talking about, or maybe it was more by the time they were selling, or it was a bit less, because 23, I think I remember seeing it when I was reading the NBL's financial statements back in 2019. Yeah, I think it was 23%. So okay, so the sale of the 23% back to Heineken. So this brings me to the first of the recent pre-scheme transaction for NBL. This sales of NBL's 25%, okay, now it was 25% by the time they sold, 25% at stake in Heineken South Africa back to Heineken. While there are some clear benefits to NBL, it's giving up its participation share of brands Heineken and other Heineken brands' growth in South Africa. This includes the Amstel brands, Jack Black, Soweto Gold, Carmarthen, and Stellenbosch. Growth now accrues fully to its new parent company, Heineken. Other income that will fall away is the know-how fees received from Heineken on brewing of Windhoek Lager at Sedibang. So I think when the Windhoek Lager was being brewed in South Africa, Heineken used to pay some sort of like fees, royalties to NBL, which were called the know-how fees. and this is going to fall away now in this transaction because now they are in one group. So on the upside, the production of some of its own brands will shift back to NBL's Windhoek facility, increasing utilization, but without giving up a steady royalty revenue stream received from Heineken for the distribution of the brands in SA. There is now a potential to achieve a higher growth rate more than ever, more than the historic 8% compounded royalty growth rates given to the new and expanded distribution network. All right, so deeper into the transaction, NBL acquires Distell Namibia's business. The second scheme transaction was the acquisition of Distell Namibia by NBL as a condition to the bigger Distell acquisition. NBL had to acquire Distell Namibia's business, focusing on wine and spirits brand. The transaction consolidates two highly complementary businesses, creating a single player in Namibia across the different alcoholic beverages categories and enabling cost and revenue synergies. Most of Distell's business in Namibia has always been supplied via imports from South Africa. So one of the advantages of the acquisition is to increase utilization of NBL's Namibian manufacturing capabilities in ciders and wines with brands such as Savannah, Hampers, Tassenberg, Capenhammer, Castello, and so forth. So all these products they will be now produced in Namibia at the NBL brewer. So this important substitution would be extremely beneficial if Distell Namibia's business in Namibia was performing well and growing. But if one looks at Distell BLNE, so BLNE is an acronym that stands for Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, and Eswatini, a division historical performance up to the date of the acquisition announcement. This region has shown a margin pressure and weak growth, making it one of the weakest regions in Distell's stable, as per some of the graphs that I'm looking at here. So Namibia estimated to make up to 55 to 60% of this region based on this recent history. In the absence of macro turnarounds, it appears that the new Namibian production may find weak demand in neighboring Southern Africa market outside of Namibia and South Africa. Okay, just going deeper in the transaction again. Heineken now acquires NBL's holding company with 59% stake. So just to give the group structure currently of Heineken and NBL and Distell and all those things. So currently, the group looks like this. So we have Heineken NV, which is the ultimate parent company that owns 65% of Heineken Beverage Holding Proprietary Limited, which owns 100% of NBL NBL Investment Holdings Limited. So the transaction happens around here now at 100%, where now Heineken bought 100% of NBL Investment Holdings Limited from ONL, which ONL owned 59% of, or which this NBL Investment Holding Limited owned 59% of Namibian breweries. And then when we come to the Namibian breweries, under Namibian breweries, we have entities that they own 100%. So there are some subsidiaries that they own before this transaction. And then we have Distell, they own 100% of Distell Namibia Limited, 100% of Distiller Corporation Namibia Proprietary Limited, and then 100% of Namibia Wines and Spirits Limited. Okay, so going in the transaction. So the final part of the transaction was the acquisition of Namibian Breweries Investment Holding Limited by Heineken. NBL Investment Holding owned 59% of NBL, like I said, which is now owned by Heineken. And NBL declared a dividend of $26 per share, being the proceeds from the disposal of its Heineken South Africa stake, and an NBL Investment Holding used that dividends to repurchase its own shares from ONL, with the remainder being brought outright by Heineken. So at the end of all these transactions, the key questions are: what were the shareholders left with, and who are the main beneficiaries? So let's see if this article answers these questions. So a big benefit for NBL shareholders. So NBL shareholders received an extremely attractive special dividend of $23 per 23 Namibian dollars per share at a time when the shares was trading at 32 $32. 32 Namibian dollars, which was 74% of the market cap at this time, as well as the share price appreciation from the re-rating before the transaction and ONL's buybacks. The returns were exceptional and represented the remarkable attractive gain in the short term. So yeah, there's a lot of the boring stuff here that I don't want to go through, but yeah, I think that is like the gist of the article. You can find this article online. Yes, just also at the end of this video, I would like to sort of like summarize all the products that are like currently in the NBL group, starting from the wines, the beers, the spirits, and the ciders. So with the wines, we've got the old wines, which Tassenberg, Kappenhamel, or Capenhamel, Castello, and then the premium wines we got Nettenberg, 4th Street, Durbanville Hills, and then for the beers we got the Windhoek Drought, Tafel Lager, Tafel Light, Windhoek Lager, Windhoek Non-Alcoholic, Tafel Redler, King Lager, Hansa Draft, Heineken, and Kamerton. And then for the spirits portfolio, they got the Pushkin Vodka, the Cruise Vodka, Oldbach, Richelieu, Klipdrift, Baines, and Amarula. And then for the ciders, we got Savannah and Hunters. And then for the soft drinks and water portfolio, you'll find drinks such as Aqua Splash, Fruit Tree, and McCain. So those are currently the products under the NBL group as we speak. And under correction, all these products are being brewed or manufactured in Namibia, which is something to actually brag about. And in closing, I would just like to sort of like just touch on the performance of NBL in the 2023 financial year. Just the key economic outcomes, the biggest being their net revenue, which went up by 12.1% from 3 billion to 3.3 billion. And then the rest of the items went down. Operating profit went down by 36.9%. Net asset value per share went down by 14%. And then for social economic outcomes, like I said in the beginning, they have round about almost close to 1,000 employees. So their employee rate or their employee capacity grew from 760 in the prior financial year 2022 to 983%, and 98.8% of this 983 employees are Namibian. So I hope you found this video informative. If you did, do give it a thumbs up, and if it's your first time to the channel, do follow the channel. There's more videos that I'm gonna releasing with content like this and other content. Yes, I would like to end the video here. Elia Uboso. Cheers. You guys have a great week ahead. Boom.